Biker Radio Broadcast advises safety at all times. Discourages underage riding, but celebrates the spirit of motorcycling. And how?
Tango Charlie, Green Tea 515, coming to you, Green Tea. Good morning, Tango Charlie, this is Easy Peter, Green Tea 515, I'm ready to roll. See you in 5 at the DNG Bay, over and out.
Hello and welcome to the Biker Radio Broadcast. I'm Shandy.
And I'm Sunny, and we're ready with our new episode of the Biker Radio Broadcast, episode 3.
Well, lots of people told us that the show is way too long and we promised to take the blow to the chin straight on. We've tried to work around it and have made some changes.
This time we're breaking up the show into smaller parts, and hopefully we'll have your attention right through all of them.
Well, it's been a maddening week. And then some here in Delhi. All our plans to travel and interview bikers from around the country went for a toss because of the Auto Expo 2018, which popped up right in our face.
As though we didn't know, they announced it in 2016.
Yeah, but then we hadn't planned for this one. We never thought we'll even get in there. And thanks to the Riders Planet guys, the Dinesh Gupta and Chandresh Marwa, and they were very gracious to allow us space in their very elaborate stall at the Auto Expo.
और हम उनकी पूंछ पकड़ के अंदर घुस गए.
Yes, we've been trying to feature bikers from outside the NCR bubble because now we've got listeners who are all over listening to us, and we've been lucky this time to have killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Listen to this.
Hi, I am Joshua John. There is Santosh Kumar who runs MTM. He is an absolute legend who is creating space for other bikers, so I admire what he does, and he should be heard.
Tall, dark and handsome, shy, reticent, serious, a naturalist, unconventional and an animal lover. Another rider who uses the motorcycle as a means to an end.
The man behind the famed MTM, the Motorcycle Travelers Meet. Please welcome Santosh Kumar.
You know, your face is familiar.
Kind of familiar?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
Must have hung around the Malpe beach. Nice place.
But it's got messed up now. So for me, the mess is more like my grandparents' place is still there.
Okay.
And the memories of them are, summer vacations, 2 months, winter vacations, a month.
Right.
And you could sit, it's a huge house with this big ass corridor, and you're sitting there and it's constant breeze, fresh ocean breeze and all of that. And so I lived in Hyderabad during my schooling days, in Chennai, in Bangalore. I think very briefly, very young, I was also in Delhi, but I don't remember any of that. So I finished my schooling in Bangalore.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
In Bangalore it was Baldwin Boys, and I did my pre-university there. Never enjoyed any of that. So once I, my first year of pre-university, I decided, okay, That's it.
Oh, that was it?
That's it. So I never stepped back to school or college ever after. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. So that's
So what did you do? Just the day.
I just hung around doing nothing for a year or 2. It's not the best thing that your parents would want to see, like not wanting you to go to school and stuff like that.
Siblings?
I have a younger brother. He was worse off than me. So
What's his name?
His name is Gautam.
Gautam, you're listening to this?
But I'm so proud of them because, they didn't really push me that hard. After a point, it just settled. They kind of came to an agreement that, okay, this is how it's going to be, even though they were unhappy and feeling sad about the whole thing. But then over time they got over it, and there was certain highlights in my moments in life where they felt proud about the stuff that I've achieved. Yeah. So in the end, it's all hunky dory.
The Long Way Home.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Varun Dhawan, and I'd like to wish the Biker Radio Rodcast all the best. Ride on.
So what brings you to Delhi?
So I help a friend manage this property called Fringe Ford in Wayanad.
Okay.
In Wayanad?
Yeah. So we were here for the Responsible Tourism Summit. We won the overall and the Best Wildlife Lodge.
Oh my.
Kya baat hai?
So congratulations.
Congratulations.
It was a big deal for us actually.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So what we do is we have a 525 acre property in Wayanad, and we have 5 rooms.
500 acres and 5 rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
How many elephants?
Elephants keep walking in and out.
Yeah.
And of course the tigers and the leopards and the wild dogs
really?
and the elephants and the gores.
Nice.
And we've been seeing the lion-tailed macaques, which is endangered. Now it's off the endangered list.
Yeah.
There is the king cobras,
Right.
the Nilgiri martins, which are like
Yeah.
rare to see.
Yeah.
The flying foxes. I mean, just about everything is out there. And more than that, we have 27 streams which basically fuels the Kabini river, multiple waterfalls.
Lovely.
We don't do motorized activities in the
At all?
property. It has to be walks.
Unplugged.
Yeah, totally. And the 5 rooms take care of the conservation effort that we are making there. So it's almost not for profit. And
Awesome.
it's taking care of the entire landscape.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is sustainable tourism?
Well, there are like plenty of definitions for sustainable tourism. When you are doing sustainable tourism, you basically have the least or no impact on the place that you're working in. You make it better over time. You are extremely conscious on what you do. I mean, every step you take is with extreme sense of consciousness to protect, preserve and conserve. So that's what I think is sustainable tourism.
This is the Biker Radio Broadcast.
You're on the long way home with Santosh Kumar on the Biker Radio Rodcast.
Let's take a side trip now here and catch up on MyWay. As you might know, MyWay is a road trip report of a rider from his or her recent journey.
So this time we are delighted to bring to you from the Pantheon of the Gods, Dr. Arun Thareja, who is HOD of the ENT department at the Maharaja Agrasen Hospital in New Delhi. And when he's not peering into people's ears or noses or throats, he rides a Honda CB 1000.
MyWay.
Yeah, hi, this is Dr. Arun Thareja, the founder of the group GODS, group of Delhi Superbikers. We were in Mandawa, a short weekend trip from 9th to 11th February. Today we are on our way back. We're still at the Castle Mandawa where we have been staying. 19 Superbikes reached here and we had a awesome time. What a beautiful property. This is mind-boggling is the word. It's a combination of the heritage plus the contemporary. Brilliant is the word, Castle Mandawa. And yesterday we all were there at the walking Haveli trip where we saw lovely Havelis around almost 300 years old. And we went to the sand dunes and did some horsing around, I would say. Did some lovely horse riding also. Right now we are about to start, and unfortunately we had multiple punctures on a Versys 650, but now all is good. We were carrying all the stuff with us, so now we are ready to take off, and we'll be now going to Navalgarh onwards to Sikar bypass, and from Sikar bypass we'll be taking the Bikaner road and joining the National Highway 8, the Jaipur Highway. So all in all, a fabulous kind of a trip, and now it's time to roll. And this is MyWay.
MyWay.
For people who might have heard Dr. Arun Thareja for the first time, let us give you a short background to him. Also called Dr. Speed by his loved ones in the motorcycling world, Dr. Thareja has a mini museum of his bikes at home, and we've been graciously invited to visit him and have a look at his gleaming machines.
Now, Doc started on a Yamaha RX like a lot of the riders in the 80s, but he's grown, and how? He's a mentor, a friend to every biker in Delhi and beyond.
And we're looking forward to doing the Long Way Home featuring him.
We're coming to get you, Doc.
So we got him to record pieces of his voice on the recorder on his phone every time he got the opportunity on the ride back. And we guess he had a really good time joking around.
So there is more of Dr. Thareja yet in the other 3 parts of today's show. Don't miss them.
Do not miss them.
Samjhe?
So time now to get back on the Long Way Home with Santosh Kumar.
And one of the things that happened when we were doing the research for Biker Radio Broadcast is that, we saw a lot of groups, a lot of them had selfies and pictures of rides and their motorcycles and the good time they were having. And some of them just did not have any pictures at all. But there was a lot of material coming out of that, and a lot of it was serious and cerebral. There was this one called MTM, and I kept on wondering what it was. This is what Santhosh is. Tell us about MTM.
Well, MTM is Motorcycle Travelers Meet. It's about, we are 6 years old now. So I used to organize something called Travelers Meet.
In Bangalore?
In Bangalore.
Okay.
And we used to do it like once a month. It was generic. Travelers who were into wildlife, we had travelers who were just backpacking, hiking, all kinds of travelers. We used to get them to share stories and bring them all together. So that used to happen like every third Thursday of the month in Bangalore. So we used to get people together. There used to be like 100, 150 people who would come together, and we used to have these 1 or 2 talks or a film or, that kind of stuff.
Couple of hours?
Yeah, evening 2 hours.
2
6 to 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And then people hang out and do whatever.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No alcohol, whatever, it's a cafe. So
Right.
hang out, chat, understand, probably plan trips together or exchange information about various things and all of that. So I did that for a year and figured that I'd not organized a motorcycle-oriented travelers meet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that subject was not covered at all. And the 12th one, we were like, okay, let's do something about motorcycles. And as I was planning it, I realized that 2 hours was not enough, and therefore it became a 2-day event, which we planned in a campsite outside Bangalore, 60 kilometers outside Bangalore. We had close to about 6 speakers for the event.
Okay.
We had about 100 people who came together.
Wow.
And that was 2 days of, these guys who rode in, camped out, and we had these sessions of stories from various people. And so that was the beginning of it. And I stopped organizing the monthly meets because I was too tired doing it like every month. And then Travelers Meet became Motorcycle Travelers Meet. Mm-hmm. So once a year we do it.
So is this a complete shindig?
Full on.
Full on.
Full on.
What happens? Is the party on the minute you get there?
So it's not really about a party. In a way, it's a party. So typically what we do is we invite people to share their stories. So we identify and find people who've done this extraordinary journeys in India, outside India, whatever. And the focus for us is to find those Indian folks who have done things, which was probably, we never heard of or thought would be possible ever. Mm-hmm. So we handpick certain people like that and give them 45 minutes and a stage and get them to share their stories. We also figure out if there is anybody who's doing around the world tour who's probably crossing around and passing through India.
Bring them in.
So if it matches, we invite them in. Mm-hmm. So those are those talks and sessions that happens. We also organize little workshops. So what we've done so far is a ride skill workshop, a first aid workshop, a GoPro documentation workshop, things like that. So we plug in a few workshops so people have some skill-based stuff and talks, and we generally hang out. So that's pretty much what we do at MTM. But all these journeys are documented on video, goes up into our YouTube channel.
Right.
And that's where all this, the inspiring stuff happens and people get to watch it. And
The Long Way Home.
But you're a biker.
I am, yes.
And how long have you been riding?
Well, I started riding motorcycles when I finished my school after my 10th standard. And it's actually a very funny story on how I got onto a motorcycle because,
Tell us.
So my mom had a little kinetic Honda those days. Yeah, many years ago. And my dad bought it for her, but she didn't know how to ride. She was learning how to ride and stuff like that. I did my first year of college, so I took her to college once in a while. And then I wanted to ride a motorcycle. Now, I didn't want to be riding a little scooterette, right? So, you know what's coming up now.
How tall were you then?
I don't think so. I've grown any taller from then. So I've been 6 feet. Right then.
6 feet on a kinetic Honda. Impressive.
And really, thin like he. So I went to the used automobile market in Bangalore, and I saw this beautiful ESD Road King.
Ooh.
It's a stunning bike. And I went into the shop, and I was like, how much is this bike? And I think it was some 16,000 or something like that. And I'm like, what the hell? How do I manage this now? And I was like, hey, can we do an exchange of the Kinetic Honda with this? So it was pretty much a year-old, 10-month-old Kinetic Honda, and they were like, okay, that will be about 21,000, 22,000. So you can exchange and we'll pay you the remaining money. I said, great. So I actually left the scooter there and got this motorcycle, and I didn't really know how to ride a motorcycle, okay? Still. And I was like 16, 17, whatever. And I come home and I'm like, hey mom, this is what I've done. So you're not riding the scooter any which way. So I just exchanged it for this motorcycle, and unfortunately I've signed up. So here is the remaining money. And my father in the first floor of the house comes out and sees what I have picked up, and he sees this motorcycle, ASD Road King. I mean, those days it's a big motorcycle for them, right? And he's like, oh, he's howling, what the hell have you bought? How the hell will you ride? And shit like that. So that was the start of it.
I've been trying my level best not to react. What were you thinking? Weren't you thinking, Amma needs to ride? She's not going to ride the Road King.
Well,
So then what happened?
So you know what? Now that I think of it,
Amma didn't ride it.
Obviously not.
This is the Biker Radio Broadcast. The Long Way Home.
But now that I think of it, that motorcycle actually changed a lot of things in my life, very unconsciously, I would say. Because 2 days later, after buying this motorcycle, which was in super condition, just had one tire which needed to be changed, which I changed with that exchange money that I got. And 2 days later, I just took off to Ooty from Bangalore. And this was like, the college going for some day trip, and my folks didn't know that I was, riding the motorcycle to Ooty. So, and it's funny because this bike is really loud, right? You heard ASD, without those mufflers in place. It makes it like dun dun dun, and it's really loud. Yeah. So where I live is kind of, so you exit out of my house. Either ways you exit, it climbs up. Okay. Now for me to go to college, I need to take the right turn out of my gate, which is a climb up there. Now I'm out of my house at 4 o'clock, and I planned this trip with my friend who lives in the parallel street, okay, who is behind me. Now I can't go riding to my friend's place because my father will be thinking, what the hell is this fellow doing? He's supposed to go this way, why is he going this way? And I still don't know how to ride, Just about
2 days after.
Yeah, 2 days after, immediately, like day after tomorrow types. Right. So I pull out the motorcycle, somehow start it, and release the clutch and go up this road. Go up that road, shut off the motorcycle and come rolling down the parallel street. Come here and wake up my friend, knocking his window and then and then we can't ride again because then we pushed his motorcycle to the other end on top,
Park it.
and then it rolls down a little more. So we're like a kilometer away from the house, and then we go. So that was my first motorcycle ride that I did, and in the process learned how to ride.
Wow.
And
All the way to Ooty.
All the way to Ooty.
What
and
a ride.
And we had to come back in the night, in the evening. That's the plan, right?
Which year
That's
is
what
this?
we did.
Which year is this?
92, 93.
92, 93, no helmets, right?
But we did wear a helmet.
You did wear a
Yeah,
helmet.
of course.
Why did you wear a helmet?
It's safe, yeah, and it's fashionable. Of course you need to wear a helmet.
So, it's also fashionable.
Of course it is fashionable to wear a helmet.
Really?
Yeah.
The Long Way Home.
You had a ESD, right?
Yes.
You also had a Road King?
No, it was the later version.
Which was that?
It was, with the new tank, the late.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fat lady.
The Monarch or something.
Yeah.
How much did you sell it for finally? Which year?
2,000 rupees.
And which year?
So it was bought for about 16,000 something.
But that was new, right?
It was new. Bought it in 1988. 87, sorry.
Okay.
And sold it in 94.
94, you and you?
I got in a motorcycle in 92.
Yeah.
16,000. तूने 2,500 का बेचा. You could have taken a ride down to Bangalore and sold it. अभी मौका है right down.
Yeah, actually, I should go looking for the guy I sold it to. No, I've thought of that. Many times later, I did think of trying to get it back, but it was.
Have you got any clue where it is?
My motorcycles?
Yeah.
No, actually.
Would it be nice
I
to find
remember
it?
the number, but the one is CKR 907. That was my first one. And I had another Road King after, which was CNV 612.
Wow.
And I bought that bike from Ankola, Karwar, if you It was in two gunny sacks. I bought that bike.
Why?
So I have this mom's cousin who bought this bike from the showroom.
Where is this going?
So after I sold my CKR 907, I was like, okay, I need to buy another Road King because nothing, it was a great bike and there's nothing better than that then. So I was just chatting with mom and talking to my uncles and like, hey, you know what? That uncle has bought this bike. He just rode it for 500 kilometers. For some reason, he stripped it, put it in a gunny sack, and kept it in the attic. So I was like, okay, I'll come and take it. I went, paid him 5,000 rupees and got it.
But why did he stick it in a gunny sack?
I don't know.
There was nothing else, I guess.
We were like crazy, yeah. I mean, we've done crazier things also. So I got it back, and that was a sweet bike,
You've got some interesting people in the family.
Hi guys, I am Divya Minocha. The year was 1988. I bought my first Yamaha RX100. उस समय ना कोई ग्रुप्स होते थे ना कुछ उस समय तो बस अकेले किसी भी दोस्त को पीछे बिठाया मसूरी शिमला चले गए. Now I'm really feeling very happy कि इस तरह का बाइकर रेडियो ब्रॉडकास्ट आपने लॉन्च किया. I'm really happy.
This is the Biker Radio Broadcast. MyWay.
Hi guys, this is Dr. Arun again from God's Group on the Biker Radio Broadcast. A short, quick fuel stop at Navalgarh, and now we are off. Let's see what happens on the highway. Chala, bye. We deliberately took a longer route because it was much cleaner. So rather than going into Shahpura, we stuck to the main highway and then we touched Jaipur bypass. And then we zoomed like maniacs, obviously safe maniacs. And now we have taken a break for tea and sandwiches at the Highway King. Weather is fantastic, slightly cloudy, slightly sunny, but perfect for our kind of superbike riding. And we should be home in the next, I guess, 2.5 hours. So that would be excellent timing. So see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. And this is MyWay.
MyWay.
I'm Deepa Malik.
Hi, I'm Pallavi Fawzar.
Hi guys, this is Melvin aka Young Kid Customs.
Hi, I am Joshua John.
Hi, I'm Mohit Ahuja and you're listening to the Biker Radio Rodcast. You guys are doing a kick-ass job.
Hi, I'm Shivi and you're listening to me on the Biker Radio Rodcast.
Hi, I'm Shandy and you're listening to The Long Way Home.
The one is CKR 907 and I had another Road King after which was CNV 612.
This is the Biker Radio Rodcast.
But incidentally, these are the only two bikes numbers that I remember.
How many have been there?
There are many that I changed hands. These are two motorcycle numbers that I remember.
You started with the Kinetic, it cost 20-something thousand rupees, right?
Yeah.
You buy something that's 16,000 rupees.
Yeah.
That's not going to sell for more than 16, right?
So
this is going to be you're going downhill.
This is going to be a long one here, okay? Because then my friend's friend is riding this ESD 350 twin.
Okay.
And that guy, he wanted a Road King.
Okay.
And for me, it's like I'm upgrading to a 350.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let's exchange. So I exchanged it.
Then I बोला पैसे दो.
नहीं, कुछ नहीं. So I exchanged it. Okay, I thought a 350 great bike and I exchanged it. It's a nice bike. But I was very unhappy after riding a Road King. Then I said, Henry, this is not working out. So he's like, go fly kites, he told me. I said, damn you, yaar. So I lost that bike. Then I sold this ESD 350 that I had. And that is when I moved on to the RD 350s.
Wow, that's a climb.
So, yeah. So once I bought that bike, I didn't change for a very long time because... it's a sweet machine.
You were Freddie Mercury.
The Biker Radio Broadcast. Listen, connect, ride on. The Long Way Home.
We did our first show with Joshua John and we asked him who he'd like to have on the next show. And he took two names. One was Bobby Singh and the other was you.
There is Santosh Kumar who runs MTM. He is an absolute legend who's creating space for other bikers, so I admire what he does and he should be heard.
He was very clear in saying that, I'd love to hear him talk. You seem to like to bring people together. Why is it that not a lot of people know what Santhosh is all about?
So you know what? I've been pretty much been backstage. I mean, when you're organizing an event like this, you're probably sitting in one little control room and trying to figure out that everything is going fine and the food is served on time. Make sure that the camera is rolling, the sound is checked, and stuff like that. You spend like a good 6 months of prep before the event.
Right.
And for me, when I walk into that gate of that venue, my job is done primarily. Okay. So from there on, whatever we've planned and it has to just roll. Okay, I have no control over it after that, right?
True.
You put the schedule, structure, you brought the people together, and the whole machinery is in work. So all I can do is just sit and have a coffee and just look at it and smile. That's all. That's all I get to.
You got a name for it also.
What's that?
Santosh.
I'm actually very shy. Hate to be on stage. My team kind of really forces me, cheats me, and pulls me up stage in the end of the event. So I don't really enjoy being up there and talking and saying things. And
this is the Biker Radio Broadcast. The Long Way Home.
So what do you ride?
I have a little bike for my city, which is a Charisma Hero.
Right. So that's a commuter bike.
Kind of, because I don't enjoy driving cars.
Okay.
And I have a BMW F650, the Dakar version of it, which I really like. I have a Suzuki DR350, which is an older enduro motorcycle. Yeah. So these are the three bikes.
Which one is your favorite?
There's nothing called a favorite.
Come on.
There's nothing called a favorite. Honestly, there's nothing called a favorite.
So how do you choose what are you going to ride today?
I believe something, yeah. I mean, there is specific purpose, specific use for a motorcycle.
Absolutely.
When I'm riding in the city, I want a nice chilled out bike so I can just putter around town and not end up in traffic and things like that.
Yeah.
I would probably ride a BMW when I want when I want to open highway, I want to move faster and do a little dirt riding and stuff like that. The DR350 is a really light ass machine which is great fun off-road. So, I kind of use it for that. So there's nothing called a favorite. There's a favorite place, favorite kind of place, yeah.
Kids?
No.
No?
I have 7 of them, but...
And their names are?
Their names are Zina, Snoopy, Maya, Calvin, Sasha, Nobu, Sugu.
So any favorite ride that you're looking forward to?
I definitely, in the near future, will find myself in Myanmar for sure. And I definitely want to go to Mongolia because I've been wanting to go there, and also because it's Hubert's most favorite country.
Oh yes,
because that's the honor I would want to whatever.
But if you had an opportunity to ride with anyone, who would you like to ride with?
I mean, honestly, if I could ride it with Hubert, who's no more, I would truly would have loved to ride it with him.
Tell us about Hubert.
So here is this guy who we lost like last month, French guy who lived in the US for a very long time. He's done all kinds of jobs in the US and it got to a point where he was having a conversation with a friend of his, and they were discussing about life in general, and they did a math about what if I travel for the next 10 years, how much money would I need? And they made the math on a little piece of paper napkin and figured that is the kind of money one needs for 10 years. And then he just liquidated himself the next day.
Okay.
And set off on the road. And with this thing saying, I have money for 10 years to ride, and when I finish this ride, I'll go back and figure out what I want to do in my life. I might just be a janitor or whatever, and this 10 years
on the
spend the money that I've made in my life and go. And that's exactly what he did.
I'll still die poor, but be happy.
Absolutely.
So how many years was he into his ride?
11 years.
11? Wow. So he went past the 10?
Yeah. And he wanted to ride till he...
And he did?
He did.
And he passed away in Indonesia?
I really miss him. I mean, a lot of us miss him. And a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Huge inspiration. I mean, not just for motorcycle travel or whatever, but generally in life.
Yeah.
He's a great inspiration for somebody to, actually look at what he did and learn what one can do for himself, So, yeah, a special guy.
The Long Way Home. The Biker Radio Broadcast. Listen, connect, ride on. I am Shandy, and you're listening to The Long Way Home.
What is I Don't Trash My Travel?
So many people are traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
You can see the amount of impact that's happening everywhere. Not just pollution or trash or whatever. What we are trying to do with I Don't Trash My Travel is, one is to be mindful and be low on impact. Two is to also be very mindful and considerate in the way you travel. In terms of when it comes to local cultures, when it comes to where you eat your food, when it comes to where you stay, how you interact, the whole ecosystem of travel. To start with, carry your own trash bag.
Right.
So, if you are a smoker, you throw your cigarette butt in and you're not just flipping it away. Avoid buying bottled water, carry your own bottle or a hydration pack and fill it where there is probably some filtered water available. If you're going to a sensitive place or a beautiful destination, try and handpick a place which is run by a local so that you put your money directly into their hands. When you walk in, you make sure that you don't have so many lights on all the time. Switch off the fan when you don't need it. Don't keep all the gadgets on and whatever. Try and reduce the amount of water for your washing and whatever. Be more respectful towards the family who's hosting you, and eat with them so that you don't have to go to a hotel which is a little more probably not so conscious about how they run their business.
How do you sign up for it?
There's nothing called sign up.
Okay, so how does it work?
It is I don't trash my travel.
Right.
So when you say I don't trash my travel, you follow it.
Right.
We have a little sticker.
Right.
And the idea of the sticker is that when somebody sees I don't trash my travel, he's going to ask you, what do you mean by you don't trash my travel?
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of a conversation that we want a few people to have. It's just a trigger, that's all. We want you to take it to wherever you want. You know, and I find great pleasure in this now because people are making their own stickers and sticking it, I mean, I don't have to send them stickers anymore.
Even though I wear a 5-meter turban, I cannot wrap my head around this thing. Our man Santhosh is brilliant and he just wants to get people together and talk to each other. And he'll just watch everybody from the backstage. This is what you like to do, right? I mean, you'll derive some kind of pleasure in doing that.
It's great fun,
I know, I know it's great fun, right? I can absolutely...
So do you ride often now? You still riding?
I do. I mean...
How old are you?
I'm 42 now.
42. Okay, not old enough.
42 years old.
Come on. You're not a spring chicken, but you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a lot of road ahead of you.
Yeah.
This is the Biker Radio Broadcast. Another person who had a lot of road ahead was Dr. Arun Thareja, who was on a road trip and he was reporting to us on MyWay. The group of Delhi Superbikers went out to Mandawa for a weekend, 19 bikes, and they were on their way back. And this is Dr. Arun Thareja on MyWay. MyWay.
Hi guys, this is Dr. Arun again from God's Group on the Biker Radio broadcast. Breaky over. Our tummies are obviously full. Now we have made sure the bike's tummies are also full. So on our way now. And the Manesar Toll is just 150 kilometers away. So we'll be catching you there. Take care. Bye-bye. We started off from the NH8 Jaipur bypass, and after the lunch break, now we have hit the Manesar Toll. I think a record ride or sorts, almost 380 kilometers done under 5 hours with 1 hour of lunch break. Fabulous, I guess. So that was the end of another gorgeous trip. Signing off, Dr. Arun Thareja from Group of Delhi Superbikers. Love you all. Bye-bye. And this is MyWay.
MyWay.
Hi, I'm Shahnawaz Kareem from wheelsguru.com. You're listening to the Biker Radio broadcast.
Listen, connect, ride on.
For me, one of the best things about South India has got to be MTR. I mean, But of late, the other thing I've discovered from South India is MTM. And today, we're sitting together in conversation on the long way home on the Biker Radio broadcast with Santosh Kumar, the founder of MTM. It's bound to be delectable. You're listening to the Biker Radio broadcast. Listen, connect, ride on. The long way home.
We're just trying to explore where this culture really hangs out, the motorcycling culture. And we found out that probably more than Delhi, Bangalore is roaring as far as the motorcycling circuit is concerned.
Yeah,
is this true?
That is a good culture of motorcycling and travel in Bangalore. Not just in Bangalore, I would say, even Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore, Mysore, Mangalore. I mean, lot of South.
Yeah.
There is a big push in motorcycling that's happened in the last 5-10 years.
So what do you do with your rides? I mean, what are the kind of rides you guys do? I've heard of things like the K1000.
The K1000 rally.
K1000 is a rally.
Is
it cars,
the Coffee 500?
motorcycles?
There are cars and motorcycles both participating.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've never raced.
So you're a real tourer.
Yeah, I enjoy traveling. I mean, we've done the regular Ladakh circuits, stuff around South India.
What's around South India?
Tons of it.
I'm sure. Tell us.
Yeah. I mean, the entire Western Ghat range. Right down from Mumbai all the way down to the Kanyakumari thing. Yeah?
Right.
The oldest mountain range in the world. I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah.
Stunning food, great culture,
awesome.
Lovely tropical places, great roads. I mean, it's fantastic.
Any favorites from there?
The whole thing is my favorite. Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, for me, also because after not going to school and college, and I ended up doing a lot of outdoor-oriented work, volunteering, all that kind of stuff. So at a point, I ended up building solar fences for wildlife control and things like that.
Right.
Which basically, for me, I ended up being in these really beautiful wildlife places across south of India, building solar powered fences for private properties and for government, forest department, whatever. So I got exposed to some really stunning places.
Yeah, and you fell in love with them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. Anybody can not fall in love with something as beautiful as the Western Ghats.
So the Western Ghats definitely up on your charts.
I love them. I mean, it's right in my backyard. The west coast of India is
green,
truly beautiful.
Yeah,
it's stunning.
This is the Biker Radio Broadcast. The Long Way Home.
So what's cooking?
What's cooking? See, there's one thing that has really helped me live the way I'm living is that I had a very simple dream, and the dream was to buy myself a small piece of land in Bandipo because I fell in love with that place. It took me many years to buy it. I bought the piece of land and I built that little home there. That changed my life because for me, that's the biggest dream I've had in my life. And I achieved it at a considerably younger age. And for me, from there on, I didn't have to prove anything. I didn't have a dream to fulfill.
Santosha.
Yeah, so it was an anchor. It is an anchor in my life because everything else that I did, I knew that that's my home there and that's where I'm going to live and die. And I don't need anything else. I don't need to make my millions or my thousands or my lakhs. I know I have a home which nobody can take away from me. I can grow my own little things. I can live very frugally. And that's it. So that changed my entire definition of how I started living my life and how I pursued things from there on.
We all walk away from the ride after it's done. How has motorcycling shaped you as a person?
Well, it has considerably, because I love travel. I enjoy travel. I used to run a tour company and stuff like that. And the most favorite form of travel was to travel on a motorcycle for me.
Yeah.
It's great fun to be able to sit on two wheels and go to a beautiful place, a great destination, Go up to the hill to see the river down there or, this is a great moment, and it's good fun for you to just go, ride, put the stand off, take off your helmet. These are just great moments, to just go and have a smoke out there or whatever, So for me, that's all it is. Breathe in,
Santhosh, bhai.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome. It was great. I hope you had a nice time.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Please listen to the show.
Absolutely.
This time at least.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
This is the Biker Radio Broadcast.